How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Devlog 05, I think. 04, one of the two. We got a lot of things we want to talk about today involving lurking and fear. We've added a good amount of stuff and changed a good amount of stuff. I have a list of things I actually want to talk about today for this devlog, including this sponsorship. Fiverr. If you're looking to get some work done, whether it's coding, 3D modeling, or even voice acting, or heck, anything you can even think of, Fiverr is the place to go for you. You can easily hire talented freelancers to help bring your project to life, especially for when it's 3D modeling for people like me that suck at 3D modeling. I've got a link in the description, so go check it out and see how Fiverr can help you out today. And once again, thank you Fiverr for the partnership. So the first thing I want to talk about though in this update, you can see an extra 0 on the top. We'll get to that later, but it has something to do with the weapons actually. When we pick it up here, it might be loud, I don't know, but if we shoot, we have better recoil. So beforehand it was just nothing. There was no recoil whatsoever, and now every weapon has a different set of recoil except for the pistol. I think I still need to add that, but we'll get there. Let's see. Yeah, the pistol just has a random animation, but nothing actually goes on, nothing happens. But if we go to the actual AR and we shoot, you can see the gun actually bounces. That was added in animation on the firearm itself. I still need to edit the hands and the hand-eye keys to move with the weapon. Shotgun also moves with it and everything. I don't know if there's any sound on the recording. There is sound in the recording. I just looked. But the shotgun has it, and I believe the sniper doesn't have it. Yeah, it's just basic. So we still got 2 weapons to fix, but I just want to really show off that we're starting to actually do recoil. Not only does it have a actual physical like bouncing to the weapon, it actually jolts your character, I think, up a little bit every time you shoot, so the crosshairs actually move up. Yeah, so it actually moves and makes your character kind of jolt up when you shoot. The next thing we have actually added as of recently is controller support. So I don't have my controller with me right now, but we have actually added controller support, and controller support has also worked in multiple other ways. So not just for moving around and shooting, but using the inventory systems, the crafting systems, every piece of UI involving like the quest givers, main menu setups and everything. Everything just works. The game is to automatically detect what you're doing based off of key inputs and automatically switch the game over to being controller support. So when you press a button, you go into the inventory, automatically detects, hey, this person's using a controller, and then it'll automatically switch over how the game runs and how it switches through UI things, or if it focuses on a button versus showing your mouse cursor to detect whether you're using a controller or not. One of the biggest things that we had a big issue with for a while was the health items and stuff. So beforehand, we would eat any food basically, and it wouldn't work. And there was actually kind of a couple of bugs that I knew were going on. I just couldn't figure out how to do them, but we had a couple of glitches to where if I was damaged, the code was checking to see if the player had more than one item. If it was false and it only had one item, it would remove the item and it would work. If you had more than one item, it would remove the item first and then run the code again for some reason. I had to do a lot of fixing on that, but it all should be good now. Yep, see if we take damage, and we have bread loaves or turkey legs. We're at 75 health, I believe it was. If we eat it real quick, oops, I shot, and there we go. You can see that we got 90 health now. And if we go ahead and actually drop some of these, so let's say we have 2, we'll drop all 3 of these. So we'll drop all, and that needs an update, but there we go. That might be a little broken too. I think I did. Did I drop those or did I click on the other one? I don't know. I think I randomly clicked a 1. So let's go ahead and drop 1. So confirm, and then there we go. So we have 2 of them now. What it was is the code was seeing that I only had 2 items. So originally, when I first checked to see if the player had more than 1 item, it would be true. It would run the code to remove the item. And I had an extra check in there just as extra security, but it removed the item before it double checked it. And by the time I got to that second check, I said, hey, the player only has 1 item. So it would try to remove it and then it would glitch out. So if we go ahead and actually use it now, we drop down to 1 and we're fully healed. So that has been fixed. That was a big bug. I actually had my wife playing my game for a while, and we noticed that bug was a big issue where it wouldn't let her eat sometimes if she didn't have enough food past 2 items. She had to have at least 3 items before eating would work. And the same thing goes for all the other items we have over here that are edible or usable for healing. It all works now. The next thing that I'm excited about is this guy right here. So this is my own custom zombie. Not that great, I know. It's not my custom zombie, but the code to make the zombie run is custom. This is off of Mixamo. We will be trying our best to do actual modeling. But for now, if we walk into here where he actually can see me, you can see he walks really slow. That's for a very specific thing. So he can't actually hurt me or nothing. There's nothing he can do to me. I got to fix the camera issues. But it's a custom coded zombie. He can detect a player as long as they are within the range of certain things. I need to make it where they can detect a player regardless. But that is for our new round-based zombies. I know it's been done 100 times. And usually it's pretty crap. And mine might not be the best either. I'm going to really do my best to make it the best I possibly can. I grew up on the OG CODs. I grew up playing zombie games like Left 4 Dead and Dead Island. And a mixture of those different types of zombie games really what made me fall in love with video games. Call of Duty lately has been really shitty. Even their newest round-based zombies that they released lately hasn't been that good. It's not bad, but the maps are kind of boring, and it just feels like it's Black Ops 3 zombies all over again to me. That's maybe me personally. So we're gonna try our best at doing our own. One really cool thing about the round-based zombies that we're gonna be making, the zombies do have hit detection for different parts of their body. So you see they hit 35 up the top left corner, hit 35 for this leg, hit, and anywhere from the torso up counts as like a headshot type of thing. So that basically instantly killed him. And he's a little broken, but yeah, it's pretty cool there. And then we do have this little test item here. This is actually the spawner. Right now, I don't have the code set up for it to work. But if we go ahead and click exit out of here, let this load, go into our project, go to here, and we should have a round-based test level. It's the round-based map. So this is pretty much the same thing I just had over there. We have the spawner here. We got some weapons here. We got some weapons here, and then just other stuff. So this is going to be like a little bit of rough of what's going on. Make it full screen, and you hit Alt-P to play while you're in the editor like this. Give it a few seconds. It started me all the way back here, which is fine. You'll see the top left, that number will go up to 1. And then if you look over there, zombies will start spawning. I have it in a wide radius so they spawn better. I will be adjusting that for when the actual round-based zombies is ready. And they do roam around, but none of them are provoked right now, I don't think. So we will be adjusting how they get provoked. It seems like it's broken right now. Yeah, buddy. Oh, I don't think I have these guys set to use the AI sensing or the AI if they get spawned. It's only when they're placed. I do know how to change that. That's easy to change. But yeah, if we hit headshot and headshot, takes 2 shots. You'll also notice the crosshairs are now different. So with the crosshairs the same, but the actual hitting the zombie is different. So whenever we shoot them, you'll see like a little icon pop up, like a little hit marker. And that was technically the torso area. So the first one was blue because I hit them, but they're not dead. The second one was red because I hit them and they were dead. So shoot there. A little broken still. We're still working on it, but that little sound was just the level ending. I still got to fix a couple of things, but every time the level ends, you will hear a certain sound that will change when the round base is done, and then it will just start spawning more and more zombies. And if we just keep going, hit it again, you hear it. It says wait again, and it'll hit round 3, and it'll keep spawning more and more. It's fairly simple. Like I said, there's still some things we got to do to this. It's not finished yet. I think I've only worked for like 6 hours on getting this to actually work. So it's not finished. It's glitchy still, but there is things that we still have to fix. So we'll get there. But I promise it'll probably be worth it. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to get all my friends that have played Call of Duty Zombies and played other zombie maps. No, we're not copying Call of Duty Zombies, but we grew up playing that shit and we love it. So we're taking inspiration, but we're going to make it the best that we can. Yes, wall buys are going to be a thing. We're going to make them different than Call of Duty, of course. We're not getting copyrighted or, taken to court for crap or whatever, but there will be wall buys. There will be grenades, barricaded doors, barricaded windows, all that stuff will be added. That will be something that will be later on once we get the zombie section of the round-based stuff working to its fully maxed out potential. Then we'll start working on that stuff. That's like side parts. We need the zombies to actually run and work. We will have crawlers, of course. We'll have runners. The bombs will be able to make them into crawlers, or the grenades, I guess you could say. Oh, hiccups. Another thing with the zombies too, we've tested this already by changing the rounds and the settings itself, but these zombies themselves all have like health values that will change based on what level you're on. So if you're on level 1 through, I don't know, like 10 or so, it just really depends on what you got. Then why can't I pick up this pistol? Is it broken? If you're on like round 1 through 10 or whatnot, the zombies' health and speed variables and damage variables will be something very specific. And then there is some math in there. There's multiplication based off of your levels, and it will start changing all those values based off of what level you're on. So there's that part. And then finally, let's go back to the other map for this real quick so we can show you this. The health items is something that we were having an issue with in the last one. So if we go ahead and go full screen here, and we come over here to the health items itself was working, but the crafting was broken. So if we go ahead and pick up like 2 of these and 2 of these, so this is the aged whiskey, untextured right now, and then this is the medical herb, or just some sort of like, I don't know, herb that you can find in the world. If we hit the inventory button, you can see we got 2 and 2, and then if you go over to crafting, it shows you that you can craft it. Beforehand, you would craft it and it would spawn it in the world, and then it would remove it from your inventory, or the items itself from your inventory. So now if we click craft, then we go back, you can see we have the medical first aid kit in the actual inventory again. We do it one more time, we go back, we got 2 of those, none of the other items. That was the biggest hurdle for me, and it took me about 2 days to figure out how to sift through all the code for the healing items, or for the inventory items that I haven't touched in months. It took me forever to remember some of the stuff, and we finally got it to work. So now all your items go directly into your inventory instead of on the ground. Did I ever actually remove it from spawning on the ground too? Yeah, it looks like it. Okay. So yeah, it only goes directly in your inventory now. And it makes it a lot nicer, so the player, like if they're at a rush and they get a quick second away from a zombie to be able to heal themselves, or they got to craft a healing item, they can. So definitely worth changing that, and they don't have to get out of their inventory to pick up the item and then use it. That'd be quite annoying. And then the next thing we got is a new main menu map, and there's a couple other things in there too, so we'll go ahead and actually show you those. And this one's literally called _main menu in my thing. That's kind of cool. I think it's pretty wicked too, and it's literally just a level. That's all it is. You can see we got a couple really cool things. I mean, it can still definitely use a lot of work. So if we hit P, let's get rid of all that stuff there. It's just like a little level. It looks like a little town. Of course, there's a lot more that you don't get to see. But if we go ahead and click play, first let's go ahead and hit F11 and Alt P to play. And you can see right there, here's our main menu, and that loads in. Everything still needs work, I know. But now you can see we got a couple extra buttons here. So of course we got the normal play button. If you already have a save game, it'll ask you if you want to play again. I believe we showed that in the last one. If you want to continue, I guess you could say, it says, do you want to continue? If you do, then you'll override your save. If you say no and you click load game, it'll load from your most previous save game. We don't have multiple save slots right now. Eventually we will, but the save game's kind of broken. Saving systems are really hard, and I'm still confused by it. I got a lot in this game in the back end that needs to be saved and loaded when the player plays or saves. So it's going to take a lot of work for me to get the save system done. And you can see now that there's no fire, there's no nothing. Everything looks kind of good, minus that little piece of fire there that I didn't realize was still there. It looks kind of just normal. You're at a little farm town, whatnot. And if you want to play zombies, you click this, and then it changes to being zombies. You can see zombies actually respond. They're walking around. Everything's destroyed. Everything's on fire. Changes of the color and atmosphere. And yes, we do actually have maps here, so these will all be zombie maps we can play. Right now there's not many of them. There's going to be 4 of them. Right now they're all the same level, but we will be going through all these maps and actually changing them to be a full-fledged zombie map. And they actually do work though. So if we click zombie map 1 and we wait for a second for it to stop lagging, you can see over there we got a green cube. It's kind of hard to see, but we've got a green cube over there. And if we hit P and we go main menu again, let this do its load thing. We hit zombies. Oh, I clicked load game. We don't want to do that. All right. And now, once again, now we're back. We click zombies. It'll fade out and then fade this in. We hit the green cube the first time. We click on map 2. Give it a second to load and drop us in. You can see, I think that's like a white cube. Hit pause, go back to main menu, give it time to load for a quick second. Click zombies. We hit zombie map 3. It'll load for a second too. It'll be smoother in the actual game, I promise. And there's a blue cube. If we hit main menu again and one last time, click zombies and zombie map 4. Let ourselves load in for a quick second, and we got a red cube. So every map is different. It will load you into a different map. And yes, I know they all look the same because technically they are. I just duplicated one map 4 times and renamed it just for testing purposes. When the actual zombies round-based thing is finished and we have all the assets and stuff that we want for the round-based, all these maps will change. We'll actually have photos of each map, names of each maps, and like possibly something different for each map. So every map is completely different right now. These are all just test maps. None of them actually mean nothing. They're just there for placeholders. Now, there's not too much more I can go over for this one. It'll probably be another couple months before I release another game devlog, mainly because I got a lot I got to work on. I really want to make it special. If you guys want to see more in-depth tutorials, though, or not tutorials, but devlogs like I've done in the past where I walk through every little thing that I've done and how I've done it, you can let me know. If not, I'll keep doing these styles. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.